Crafters. In tonight's video, we're going to be making a Christmas card using the Shephard's Care Cling Stamp Set. And we'll create our background paper using the FOREVER PLAID 3D embossing folder. I got this idea from Stampin Always with Dori in her YouTube Shorts video. Hi, I'm Joan Heberlein, and I created this video from Joan's Simple Paper Crafts found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically once a week. Now give me a few seconds to turn the camera down and we'll get started.
Let me explain before we get started. I had started my sample card using Blackberry Bliss, and I got into it and I realized I didn't have Blackberry Bliss ribbon. So I used the black ribbon. This is retired, the ribbon is. And then I thought, well, what other colors would work great? So I did the crumb cake, and then I did the Night of Navy, and then I did the Petunia Pop, and the Gorgeous Grape, and the Balmy Blue. And I thought all of these looked great. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do the crumb cake. I'm going to do it this way, where I'm going to put the gold embossing powder down, and then we'll put the gold star on top of it. That star is also retired, but I like that look. And this is the white embossing powder.
Another great look.
All right, let me get started. I'm going to leave these out so that I have an idea what we're doing. We'll start with our crumb cake. This is a big sheet of crumb cake, and we're going to cut it down to 5.5 by 8.5 inches. So this is 8.5, so we won't cut that side. We'll cut this way here at 5.5. This is our trimmer, and our trimmer has both the metric system on there and the imperial system. And then there is an arm on here that extends out as far as 17.25 inches or 43.8 centimeters. That's almost 44 centimeters. So let me get this done here. And we have two trimming blades on here. This one is our scoring blade. I'm going to move that all the way up. We'll need that in a few minutes. And then we have our trimming blade. And you can see these are on the tracks, so I don't have to take these off in order to make this work. I put a third one on. This is the same thing as this one, only it's duller. And I use that when I'm doing my glitter paper and my foil paper because I don't want to get this one dull by using this one. So that is 5.5 inches or 14 centimeters by 8.5 inches or 21.6 centimeters. And we need to score it at 4.25 inches. And I just go back and forth a couple times, and then we're going to fold away from the score line. So you see there's a dimple in there. So if I'd set this down and came back, I would look for the dimple and know that that was where I scored it, and I would fold away from it. I'm going to put this away for a few minutes. We're going to burnish this on both sides. There. And then we want to take this, and I knew I wasn't done with it. We want to cut our embossing piece out. And that's going to be cut at 5.25 inches. And if you remember right, this is 8.5 inches, so that leaves me with 3 inches. And then we're going to cut it at 4 inches. So this is 4 inches or 10.2 centimeters by 5.25 inches or 13.3 centimeters. And then we've got this piece that's cut at 3 inches by 5.25 inches. So that would be 7.6 centimeters by 13.3 centimeters. And this only needed to be as deep as 5 inches. And I'm just going to take my little sandpaper here and just go along the edges. I had a little fuzzies there. Sometimes you get that when your blade's starting to get dull. I'm going to do it on this one as well. do this one because we're going to die cut this one. What we want to do next is we want to emboss this. And I'm going to get my embossing folder out. I forgot to tell you, we're going to use our nested dies. So this one, and then the two largest polygons here. And then for our Shepherd's care, I'm going to use this stamp, this stamp, this stamp, and this stamp. Okay, so now we're going to emboss this using our Versamark ink. And we're going to take the stamp, the star. Make sure it's covered good. Then we're going to put it in this upper corner right here. Sorry if my head got in the way. Then we're going to take our gold embossing powder. I'm just going to slide this under here. And just tap off the excess. I should have used our dusting bag, this right here. That helps keep the static electricity down. And I'm going to use this brush here just to knock off this right here. I think that's part of the card, but this is not. And I do have a smaller paintbrush yet. There we go. I think that's good. I'm going to move this out of the way so it doesn't get cooked with our heat gun. And I'm just going to turn my heat gun on for a few seconds here, and then we'll start embossing. And I can see it's already starting to turn. There it goes. We got it all done. Just a little bit more. Alright, that is done. Then we're going to put it through our cut and emboss machine. So let's bring that out here. So we're going to need this sandwich right here, the 3D embossing folder, number 1 plate and number 4 plate. Here's our number 1 plate. There we go. Then we're going to bring in our embossing folder right here. And we want to line that up. We just want to make sure it's even, and it looks fairly even. So then we're going to run it through. We're going to put this folded edge in first. Then we'll put our number 4 plate on. And then we'll run it through. And as long as I have this cut and emboss machine up here, I'm going to go ahead and do our other cutting. We don't need this for right now. Now we want to use this sandwich. And we'll use the number 1 plate, the number 2 plate, and 2 number 3s. So this is the number 1 plate. Here's our number 2 plate. Here's one of our number 3 plates. And then we're going to put down our paper. And let me get the dies. They're under here, aren't they? So this is the largest polygon shape. And we're going to just put that in there, and we'll crank this out. Then we're going to take our basic white. I already cut off our piece of 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and this is what was left. So we're going to take the second polygon shape, and then we'll take this die as well for our banner. We're using that same sandwich, the number 1 plate, number 2 plate, and 2 number 3 plates. And I think we are done with this. I'm going to fold it up. If I have to, we'll get it back out. So now we need to put our ribbon on here. And we cut this to the right size. And we're just going to put our tear and tape on first. Here's our tear and tape. This will help keep it down on the card. And we'll use a little Scotch tape to finish securing it. Last thing we want it to do is lift off and buckle up underneath. Put one in the middle. So we're going to be putting stuff on top of this, so we don't want that to lift off. Okay, let's take our Take Your Pick tool and start getting rid of that. Just going to peel our paper off. Alright, I'm going to put this underneath, and we want it to be right about here. There's a line that I want to have it on. And let me get my Scotch tape. I can fold this up first before we do that. And our Scotch tape, we're just going to just tape that down so that doesn't bulk up on us. I'm going to put another piece up here because that folded over on me. Underneath it, I'm thinking. Then we can lay that down and it'll stick. Okay, then we're going to put this on our card. I'm going to line it up again, leaving 1/8 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. Next we need to do is stamp our card, and we're going to stamp all 3 things here. We'll do this one last. We'll do this one first. That's the most difficult one because, as you can see, our stamp is wider than the card. So we're going to stack it, and we're going to use tape to help with that stacking. We're going to use crumb cake for this. I'm going to put some paper down in case we go off. And we'll leave our work surface clean. And where did I do with our tape? Here we go. I'm going to do the earth first because that's our largest wording on here. And I'm just going to take it in the corner here and get that inked up. Okay, let me take this tape off. We're going to put it down here. Let me line this up. Let me get my head in here. Sorry about that. Then we want to take that ink off from there. And the best way to do that is take it through our Stampin' Scrub. And I'm going to spray this. This should be the wet side because there's a raindrop there. And this is the dry side because there's a sun drop there. And I'm going to spray it with our Stampin' Mist. Don't want it to get on our card. And we need to make sure this is nice and dry. And we're making sure it's clean too. Then we're going to cover up and have just a piece showing. We use the same piece of tape. Do the same thing. And we'll take the tape off. And then we want to line it up again. I'm going to bring it down here a little closer to me. And all we have left to do is the on. And we've got to scrub it again. I've already sprayed it, so we don't need to respray it now. Making sure that there isn't any ink on there. And I am going to put the tape here. I'm not going to put a second piece on because I'm going to be very careful and just get it on the on part. Then I'm going to take the tape off again and get rid of the tape. All right, and let's bring this back down here. Now we want to have it centered between the piece and the earth. Not too bad. I'm going to scrub this one again because we're done with it. And we're done with this too, so we can scrub that. Next we need to do is stamp the inside of the card. And that's going to be with this sentiment right here. Praying that you will feel the Good Shepherd's care in the season and throughout the coming year. I'm just going to straighten this out. Makes it easier for me to line it up on the card. And that's going to be put on the inside of the card. Then we've got this one here. This one we want to put the shepherd on. And it's going to come off the edges of the card. That's why we got the paper underneath, though, so we don't worry about that. Now let's bring our Stampin' Scrub back in, and we can close this up. Okay, let's go ahead and bring this here. I'm going to bring in our silicone mat here. I don't know if I told you, this was 4 inches by 5 1/4 or 10.2 centimeters by 13.3 centimeters. And we're going to put that inside the card. And I'm going to use my glue gun. This is from My Sweet Petunia. It's not a Stampin' Up! Product, but I do use this glue inside of there, which you can find in our catalog. I start in the middle and then go out toward the edge because I don't want any big glue gobs right toward the edge. Then we're going to put it inside our card, leaving 1/8 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. You can use your fingers or you can use your bone folder to make sure that all the glue bubbles are out. There we go. Then we're going to do the same thing with this. Put it on this card here. And you just want to center this. I line up the edges here, these points here, with these points on this white one. And I'll use my bone folder again to get rid of the glue bubbles. And we're going to put dimensionals on the back side of this. I like to put a lot of dimensionals on because my cards go through the mail and I don't want them to get all wonky when it goes through the rollers at the post office. I'm just going to take some scissors here. These are not my snips because I don't want to get adhesive on them, so I use these for when I'm cutting adhesives. And we'll just take our paper backings off using our Take Your Pick tool. This did come off. Okay, then we're going to put it on here. And we want to line it up so it's centered on the card from top to bottom. And I'm moving it to the left because we have our sentiment we want to put on the right side. And we've got our star right there. Okay. And our sentiment is right here. We're going to put some glue on that. So let's put that down in here, tuck that in. And I'm not going to press with our bone folder because I don't want to flatten our embossing there. Okay, we need our ribbon. So we're going to just take our ribbon and I'm going to take it and go right over left and cinch it up a little bit and take it and go left over right and finish the cinching. And this is hard to pull because it's easy to break down. The ribbon's so thin. I'm going to just snip this here and we'll put it onto our card, and then we can straighten our ribbons out. I'm going to use a glue dot to get it onto the card. Okay, and we'll just make it right about here. We'll do the same thing on the other side. And I'll just cinch it just a little bit more. There. And we need to get our star put on there. This has been retired. I think it looks fine just like this, but I like the look when I put the star on there. And I'm going to put the largest star that I have here and just center it. That gives it a much richer look, doesn't it? Okay, let's bring in the other card. I hope you liked this project as much as I did. Why don't you give it a try? If you enjoyed today's video, would you do me two favors? Click the thumbs up emoji, which means you like it, and would you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest? These actions will help me to keep sharing my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you need to go to joanheberlein.stampinup.net. Bear with me a little bit longer because I want to let you know the promotions going on right now. Get ready for our first ever Black Friday sale with up to 40% off most useful, needed, irresistible Stampin' Up! Products at deeper discounts than ever before. Shop between November 25th to December 1st so you can create more by spending less during this limited time only sale. Make most of this Black Friday sale. You'll want to stock up on essential products. This is a great chance for you to stock up and save on everyday tools and consumable items that every crafter needs. It's perfect for Christmas time. All the products that will be on sale will make a great gift for crafters, whether they're just starting to craft or if crafting is their middle name. And with a delivery set to arrive before Christmas, this sale is the perfect way to get in the festive spirit. There's more than just a sale. It's every chance to grab everyday crafting must-haves at a price too good to pass up. Products are available while supplies last. Starting December 1st at 8 a.m. Mountain Time, we're offering big savings on prepaid paper pumpkin subscriptions. There's never been a better time to subscribe to get a new all-inclusive crafting kit delivered to your door each month. Take advantage of this Cyber Monday offer for fantastic deals on 3, 6, and 12-month prepaid subscriptions. Whether you're looking for a last-minute Christmas present that sparks creativity or resolving to make time to craft in the new year, a paper pumpkin subscription is the gift that keeps on giving. Mark your calendars. I'll be back next Sunday, December 7th at 7 p.m. Central Time, and we'll be doing something from the new mini catalog. That's right, the new mini catalog. I hope you'll be here to join me. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight. I look forward to next time. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe.